It was a crisp autumn morning in rural Vermont, the kind that makes the air feel alive. Arthur Vance, a man whose hands bore the permanent grease stains of a life lived intimately with engines, ran a chamois over the polished chrome of his 1967 Alfa Romeo Duetto. The scent of gasoline, oil, and worn leather filled his garage, a primal symphony. He clicked the key, and the twin-cam engine barked to life, a mechanical heartbeat pulsing through the chassis. This wasn't just a car, it was an extension of himself, demanding attention, rewarding skill, alive in a way modern machines rarely are. But outside this sanctuary, a different reality was taking hold. Arthur's sentiment is far from unique. Across forums, podcasts, and enthusiast gatherings, a consensus is quietly forming: modern cars, despite their staggering capabilities, often feel empty. They accelerate faster, brake harder, and cocoon us in unprecedented levels of comfort and safety. Yet, for many, the intimate connection, the visceral feedback, the pure joy of driving, seems to have been engineered out. This isn't just nostalgia, it's a measurable decline in driver engagement, a trade-off many didn't explicitly sign up for. But how did we get here? What precisely has replaced the soul of the machine? Consider the fundamental difference. In a classic car like Arthur's Alfa, every input has a direct, mechanical consequence. The steering wheel connects directly to the wheels, the throttle cable directly to the engine, the brake pedal directly to the calipers. This directness fosters a sense of control and intimacy. Conversely, in a modern car, the driver's inputs are often filtered through layers of software, sensors, and electronic control units. The machine interprets, corrects, and intervenes, creating a barrier between human and road. It's a fundamental shift from a co-pilot to a backseat driver. The chasm between classic and modern car appeal is starkly reflected in owner priorities. A 2022 survey revealed that a commanding 80% of classic car owners prioritize driving feel above all else. They seek the tactile, the auditory, the immediate response of the machine. Fast forward to 2021, and the landscape for new luxury car buyers shows a different story. 50% actively prefer advanced technology over raw driving feel. This isn't a judgment, but a clear indication of how consumer expectations and, by extension, manufacturing directives have fundamentally shifted. The shift didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual accumulation of technology, designed to enhance safety, efficiency, and convenience. But with each new sensor, each new line of code, the car became less a mechanical extension and more a complex computer on wheels. Consider the exponential growth of sensory input. An average classic car from before 2000 might have operated with a mere 5 to 10 sensors. Fast forward to 2020, and the average modern car is equipped with over 100 sensors, each feeding data into an intricate web of control systems. This proliferation is a primary contributor to the perceived emptiness. With more sensors comes more software to interpret and act upon that data. The complexity of automotive software has ballooned beyond imagination. A classic car from before 2000 typically ran on a paltry 10,000 lines of code. In stark contrast, by 2018, an average modern car boasted an astonishing 100 million lines of code. This colossal leap in computational power and algorithmic decision-making fundamentally redefines the car's interaction with its environment, and by extension, with its driver. It's a digital intermediary, constantly processing, constantly adjusting, often without the driver's conscious awareness. The byproduct of all these sensors and code is data, an ocean of it. Before the millennium, cars generated less than 1 gigabyte of data per year, a trickle by today's standards. But by 2025, projections indicate that a single modern car will generate an astounding 2.5 billion gigabytes of data annually. This isn't just telematics, it's everything from engine diagnostics and driver behavior to environmental conditions and navigation patterns. While this data promises safer and more efficient driving, it also transforms the car into a rolling data center, its primary purpose subtly shifting from personal transport to data acquisition. All this technology isn't weightless. The cumulative effect of added sensors, wiring, computing units, and reinforced structures for safety features has significantly impacted vehicle mass. Since 1990, the average vehicle weight has increased by a staggering 40%. This added heft fundamentally alters a car's dynamics. Heavier cars require more robust suspension, larger brakes, and more powerful engines, creating a spiraling effect where more technology begets more weight, which in turn necessitates more technology to manage it. The nimble, communicative feel of a lighter vehicle is often sacrificed at the altar of added features and safety ratings. The integration of these complex systems naturally comes with a significant cost. Beyond the initial engineering and manufacturing expenses, these sophisticated components elevate the overall price of the vehicle. Over the last 5 years alone, the average price of a new car has seen a 20% increase. This isn't solely inflation, it's the premium for an ever-growing list of features, sensors, and computational power. While some argue this represents better value for money through advanced capabilities, for many, it signals an increasing barrier to entry and a departure from simpler, more affordable driving experiences that prioritize the road over the screen. Luxury car culture, once synonymous with exquisite engineering and driving dynamics, finds itself at a crossroads. For decades, a premium badge implied a superior connection to the road, a finely tuned chassis, and an engine that thrilled. Today, luxury is increasingly defined by technological opulence, expansive infotainment screens, advanced driver assistance systems, ambient lighting, and connectivity. While these features undoubtedly enhance comfort and convenience, they often come at the expense of that raw, unadulterated driving feel. The question for luxury brands becomes, how do you deliver a premium experience when the core emotional connection to driving is being diluted by the very technology designed to impress? The most compelling evidence for this emptiness comes from driver engagement scores. Between 2019 and 2023, data reveals a 30% reduction in driver engagement scores for new car models. This isn't anecdotal, it's a quantitative measure of how connected, aware, and involved drivers feel behind the wheel. When a car autonomously brakes for you, corrects your steering, or maintains your lane, it reduces the need for constant driver input. While these systems offer undeniable safety benefits, their collective effect is a gradual erosion of the driver's role, diminishing the very act of driving into a passive form of transportation. Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, or ADAS, are at the forefront of this transformation. These are the intelligent features that make driving safer and, arguably, easier. They include adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and parking assistance. While lauded for preventing accidents and reducing driver fatigue, each system adds another layer of automation. They are designed to take over specific tasks, subtly shifting responsibility from human to machine. It's a spectrum, moving us incrementally towards a future where the driver's role is increasingly supervisory, rather than participatory. This trend is not entirely forced upon consumers. In fact, there's a significant demand for these advanced features. A 2023 study found that 60% of consumers are willing to pay more for ADAS features. This willingness indicates a strong public appetite for increased safety, convenience, and the promise of a less stressful commute. Manufacturers, responding to this demand, integrate more and more of these systems, creating a feedback loop where supply meets and further stimulates demand. It's an economic imperative as much as a technological evolution, driving the industry towards greater automation. The path forward points towards even greater autonomy. By 2030, a staggering 70% of new cars sold globally are projected to have some level of autonomous driving capability, from Level 2+, hands-off but eyes-on, to potentially full Level 5, fully autonomous. The vision of self-driving cars promises to reshape urban planning, reduce traffic fatalities, and free up commute time. But what does this mean for the concept of driving as an engaging activity? If the car becomes a mobile office or entertainment lounge, the very essence of piloting a machine through space becomes a redundant function, a vestige of a bygone era. When a car feels empty, what exactly is missing? It's the visceral connection to the road, the subtle vibrations through the steering wheel, the roar of the engine at high RPMs, the precise feedback from the brakes as you trail them into a corner. It's the constant, intuitive dance between human and machine,
a partnership that demands attention and rewards mastery. It's the sense of being truly present, fully immersed in the act of driving. These are the intangible elements that forge an emotional bond, a relationship that transcends mere utility.
They are what made cars more than just appliances.
Yet, amid this march towards automation, there's a powerful countercurrent: automotive nostalgia.
The rising value of classic cars, the resurgence of analog driving experiences, and the sheer number of enthusiasts dedicated to preserving the past speak volumes. For Arthur, his Alfa Romeo isn't just a car, it's a rebellion against the digital tide, a tangible link to a time when driving was an active verb, not a passive journey. This isn't a rejection of progress, but a yearning for balance, a desire to retain the emotional resonance that cars once effortlessly offered.
The market for pure, undiluted driving is shrinking, but it's far from disappearing.
Back in his garage, Arthur kills the engine, the residual clicks and pings filling the silence. He runs his hand along the cool metal, a knowing smile on his face. He understands the allure of modern conveniences, the safety, the effortless commutes.
He acknowledges that the world is moving on.
But for him, the true joy of motoring lies in the imperfections, the mechanical symphony, the direct communication with the road. It's in the raw, unfiltered experience that he finds purpose, a connection that transcends mere transportation. He's not living in the past, he's simply choosing to live differently in the present. The question isn't whether modern cars are better or worse, but what we, as a society, value most from our vehicles.
Are we content with highly efficient, incredibly safe, yet emotionally distant transportation appliances? Or is there still a space, a demand, for machines that stir the soul, that engage the driver in a primal dance with physics and the open road? The future of driving, it seems, will be a blend of these two paradigms: the hyper-connected, autonomous future for the masses, and a fiercely defended, passionately pursued analog experience for those who refuse to let the soul of the automobile fade away into the digital ether. What kind of driver will you be?